It does not get any better than this, guys. Calm, easy. I gotta tell you, what we're gonna be talking about today are just the finer things about live scope for whatever your lake considers the biggest fish. So we're gonna be going out there looking for big fish. But come on now, it doesn't get much better than this. Come on, it just does not. Early morning, full sun today, and as that water temperature starts to rise, so will those crappie. Spawn, you can do it all, guys. You can just do it all. Here we go. You can do it anyway during the spawn, and this is certainly, when I have a guide trip, probably the most enjoyable guide trips is when people get to bring them back to their childhood, so to speak. And that's what we're gonna mess with here right now. And I'll go through my setup, but I'm gonna suspect that this is not going to take long to get a bite. I don't typically fish with the minnow, but I'll do whatever it takes to get a bite. And I think it does bring you back to and there's our first fish, guys. Doesn't take long. Good old minnow and a bobber. Bam, right there, guys. Now guys, my setup is pretty simple. I've got a number 5 split shot under a 3-inch slit float. And the reason why I use that slit float is because it allows me to move it up and down very quickly, but also take it on and off. So when these fish go a little deeper, I have the ability to take that slit float, and I'll walk you through that as well, show it to you here shortly. But here's the knot that I tie. I actually twirl the hook in my finger, hold the tag end, and then push it right back through the slot, the last opening on the braid itself, which sometimes can be very difficult with braid. I'm not gonna lie. Could be done a lot easier with mono or fluoro, but it's what I learned and it's what I do, and some days it's easier. There it is right there. So I use a number 4 thin wired hook, standard J hook, and that's my setup. Really, I try to keep the weight close to the hook so that the minnow doesn't get to outswim the crappie. And I always put my minnows through the eyes, guys. And yes, you can use a slip float, and I love slip floats as well, but I think I use them a little bit more when we're next to a weed edge and I want a vertical drop with the minnow. But everybody does it a little different, I can tell you that. And there we go. Taking them right off the bottom, guys. A lot of ways to catch fish during the spawn, and this is probably one of my favorite. Right there, right in the money maker right there. Fully expect to get a fish there. Boom. Good fish too, guys. Oh yeah. All right, guys, that's a good fish right there. Bam. Solid fish. And I'm just telling you, you gotta love the spawn. Now let me talk to you a little bit about these floats. Now I prefer the slip float. I really do. I'm not saying it doesn't come with its faults, but the ability to take a, some people call it even a cigar float, but it looks like this right here. It has 2 pegs at the end. Some people call it a peg float. I know that too. Got a little tangled mess here. But what it does is it allows that slit on that float right there, allows you to take it on, take it off, really adjust it super fast. And it's just my preferred method of doing it. Now, it's not easy when we go with these leaders that are, you know, 6-8 feet long. In other words, that's how deep the fish are. I'm not saying it's easy to cast it, and certainly fishing with a 10-footer makes it a lot easier. And it would be very difficult actually with a shorter rod. So you would use probably a slip float for that particular application. But when I'm fishing with a 10-footer, I really enjoy this type of float right here. It's a Camel float, so check it out. Grizzly Jig carries it, and I usually buy them in bulk, to be honest with you. And that's what we use on the guide trips the whole time. Now, I do use live scope quite a bit when I'm bobber fishing now. Strangely enough, I'm absolutely using it to adjust my weight depth for the bait, but also sometimes I am playing the screen in regards to where these fish are or when they actually take the bait. I don't know if you necessarily need to do that, but you know, if I've got a big enough pile, I don't worry about it at all. But for the most part, I will use live scope, and I like to watch my bait get taken. That is in the meat locker right there, and there it goes. It's the beauty of live scope, man. You can really know where they're at. This guy's got a lot of pull to him. Boom. Bam, good fish, guys. And we're back out there. All right, where all the fish are at. So I don't suspect this will take long. There it goes. Bam. Oh, we lost one. Right back at it. There it goes. Good fish. So check out that picture, guys. That's an awesome picture. We're gonna try some other float fishing locations here. So let's go get to them. Big mark. Big fish. Big fish. Oh, baby. Guys, that guy is absolute tank. Man, it doesn't get much better than that. That's incredible. Let's weigh that one. We come out here for big fish. We just got one. Yep, a 211, 211. 211, guys. We're gonna let that one go and do its thing. Right back. I'd feel guilty if I kept that fish. We let them go.